see you guys. So, see you guys. So, make sure you hit that hype button. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff as well. So that way you can keep up to date on stuff. So, yeah, today we're going through the amps in the new ToneX signature bass collection, right? So this particular collection has some amazing amps in it, right? Amazing amps. So what you're listening to so far, you're actually listening to the Marshall JCM 800 Bass Mod 1992. Let's bring that up just a little bit. So just a very nice rock guitar, rock bass type sound rather. They do a great job with the distortion sounds. No, I don't have one of those small guitars. I don't really even know what that is. But you talking about a ukulele? Ukulele? So y'all let me know if the sound and the video's good. Finally got kind of back up and running here, so hopefully everything is nice and clear. So that is the Marshall, and what you're actually looking at on the top of the screen there. Okay, awesome. So what you're looking at, what's going on there? Appreciate you always with the constant support. Appreciate you. Also, you're looking at the ToneX on my iPhone. That's actually my iPhone you're looking at. So not only do you get it in the pedal, like when you get say you already have it, you don't want to buy a ToneX, but you still want to have access to those amp models, you can have it on your iPhone or your iPad or your laptop or computer. So it gives you options, and it is only on iPhone, unfortunately, but it is sounds good though. And if we switch over to the Aguilar DB750. very So, you know, they do a great job of modeling because that is a tube, you know, it is a tube amp head, right? So, hold on, let me move this out the way. It ain't even being used in the way. But yeah, so you can get some really clean sounds out of it too by bringing that gain. They do a great job modeling that gain of the amps and stuff like that. So that makes it feel like a real amp because it's responding when you dig in and when you don't. So like having that, and it's, you can slap with that thing too. So you can slap with that joint too. It's just clean. Big heavy bass sound. Yeah. Even when you're playing finger style, you just switch your EQ on your bass. And I wouldn't. For real, that joint's spot on. Like, if you ever have played an Aguilar DB750, man, that is spot on. So, and again, for those of you just joining us, thank you for checking me out and hanging out with us a bit. If you could hit that like button for me, I greatly appreciate it wherever you are. I definitely appreciate it. And if you can hit that hype button and subscribe, it's even better. Also, let's not forget, I have my own preset packs already available on my Patreon. I have 11 different preamp packs with Ampeg, SGT, Aguilar AG preamp, Color Box, V2, all that stuff is over on Patreon, as well as Zoom pedals, C4 synth, Source Audio, the Enzo X, and the Future Impact. All right, so next amp we have is the Mark Bass TTE. So very nice tube, you know, definitely can get dirty in there if you decide to push the volume on it. So very nice, you know, just the way they set these up are very nice, right? So they did a great job. So they did a great job with getting these to really like cut. So these are just the amp heads, right? That's primarily how I use ToneX. I don't really use ToneX like as a whole amp because I use a ToneX one. So my little ToneX one sits on my pedal board, which is over here off to the side, and that's what I carry with me to gigs and stuff. So you know, it's on my pedal board already. Don't have to do anything extra. Thank you. I appreciate all the love, man. All the comments as well. Feel free to ask questions or you know about the ToneX, and feel free to ask any questions about the software as well, because the ToneX comes with, now I will say, if you're going to get a ToneX one or a ToneX pedal now, get the Bass edition. It's going to already come with these amps and stuff, and these presets are going to be available, as well as it will come with 4 other apps and you know pieces of software. It's going to come with the ToneX software, which is also a plugin for your DAW or your recording software. Then you also get the ToneX modeler, which is how you can model some of your own drive pedals and different things like that, and preamps, and then or model your whole rig, you know, with mic'd up rig version of your rig. And then you can also get Amplitude. And Amplitude is really amazing. It's another piece of recording software and things like that. And it also has some additional effects and things like that. So I think the best deal with this would to be get the ToneX signature bass edition, right? Get the bass edition and then get my preset packs. Don't forget about me now. You know, your boy putting you on. Don't forget about me. No, but my preset packs are going to be things, like I said, the SGT, the Aguilar AG, Gensler Magellan, the Eden WTDI, Gensben Shuttle 9.0, which is a tube, Harkey TX600, which is a tube. So I have completely different amps. It's definitely worth owning all of them. You know what I'm saying? Then you have such a variety of amps and preamp sounds. You ain't really got to work too hard about it or worry about it, you know? Plus, you know, with the way things are, you can carry a truckload of amps with you and never carry an amp with you. So that's amazing. And these do sound good. You can't tell me that don't sound good. Come on now. You know. And let's go to the next. Actually, did I get them mixed up there? I think I did. Let me do something real quick. I just want to make sure I'm not skipping any. So, okay. Here's the Mark Bass. Here's the Mark Bass TTE. Got them a little mixed up there. Sorry about that, folks. So this is the Mark Bass TTE right here. So there's just such a variety of amps in here. Like it's just, let's just look through some of them real quick, just so we got an understanding of what we're looking at. You got the orange AD 200, the Gallion Kruger Fusion 500 Harkey. You know what I'm saying? You got Trace Elliott in there, Aguilar Dark Glass, Gallion Kruger, Mark Bates Big Bang, Ampeg SVT2 Pro. You got the Fender Bassman 300 and Fender Bassman 100. You got the Gallion Kruger RB800 and SVT CL Heritage, right? So you literally got, and this is not even all the presets. It's 150 presets that come in this collection, right? So if you get the bass version of the ToneX pedal, it will come loaded with 20 of them, right? The bigger version of the ToneX pedal will come with all 150 loaded, but you'll have access to them through the software. And it comes with SVX 1 and 2, which includes some really amazing, pretty much all the vintage Ampeg amps will be available to you with the cabinets and different microphones and different mic positions, all in amplitude, which comes with it. So, you know, this is just simply an amazing. IK Multimedia is my favorite, like, digital amp modeling company, and just effects in general. Like, all their mastering stuff is good as well. So, you know, it's not just this stuff. And just for full disclosure, they did send me this collection to check out for my YouTube, but y'all know I don't play with folks like that. If you send me some, understand I am going to give you an honest review. And this is my honest review. If you look at any of my videos about the ToneX pedals, I've been doing preset packs and loving this platform, the ToneX platform. So, you know, it was a no-brainer when they asked me to check it out. Heck yeah, I'll check it out. This is my favorite amp modeler at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So, and they keep updating it. They keep, you know, firmware updates to keep the software growing. You know, that's all. It's, you know, you started out with 2 pieces of software it came with, and now it was 4 because they split the modeler and the editor for the pedal and the actual ToneX app into 3 different things. So, yeah, amazing platform. If you could hit that like button for me. We only got 4 likes, but we got quite a few more people in here, right? Can we get some more of them up in there for me? That helps me out so much, guys. Y'all wouldn't believe it. And make sure you subscribe so you know if you like this type of live content, you can get to it again. All right, hit that hype button as well, you know. All right, let's check out some other stuff. We're going to kind of hop around a little bit. Let's see. Y'all can also comment where y'all from. Let me know where everybody from in here. You know, I like hanging out with y'all a lot. Let me know where everybody from. You know, we got people in here from around the world. So we're going to go to this Harkey real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a very nice firm amp there. So, you know, that's exactly what that Harkey sounds like too. So sounds amazing. All right, we got Memphis in the house. Appreciate you. Trace Elliott AH250. Matter of fact, let's go back real quick because you got to hear that Harkey on slap. That Harkey slap too. So one thing I do absolutely love about the ToneX pedal is you can also additionally EQ any of these that you needed to. If you need some more volume, you can add it. If you want to add some more saturation with the gain or of the amp, you could do that as well. So you're not stuck with just what you're hearing. These are just like the starting points. Trace Elliott. So that is a nice amp model there. And, well, tone model. They're called tone models, right? So one thing I can honestly say about I've always that really, I guess, it really impresses me about these units is not just the size of it, Mind you, hold on. You know, a ToneX 1 is this big. This how big a ToneX 1 is. It's not even the size of your hand. It like fits right in the palm of your hand. And for that to be such a small unit and do so much, because you still get modulations in there. Mind you, these are not the most extensive parameters for these effects. Like, you know, you're only getting 2 or 3 parameters, maybe 4, a little bit, something like that. But you know, you're getting chorus, flanger, tremolo. What else is in it? Chorus, flanger, phaser. I think I saw a tremolo. I know you get 2 types of delays, and you also get like 4 or 5 types of reverbs, a compressor, and a noise gate in there. And all that's built into each preset, in addition to an EQ. You know what I'm saying? You get a really nice EQ. And what you do, you set that EQ up right. So set that lows knob down to around like 75 to 100, and set the mids to probably about 1 to 2K, somewhere around there, depending on how you play and what you're playing. And then you set your high treble knob to 4,000, and then it'll only affect the frequencies 4,000 and above, and then you'll have a lot of control over each one, even without the software. And you still have access to the noise gate, the compressor, and reverb all on the pedal. I'm talking about a ToneX 1 here, little small one. Then you also have access to turn off the cabinets globally. Say you have IRs with each of these presets. You can turn the cabinets off globally. And that way you don't have to turn off individual cabinet IRs when you want to use it as a preamp, like I do for my bass amp. So say I wanted to run this same sound as instead of using the preamp head there so I can get these different amp sounds, I just run straight into the return or the power amp end of the bass amp. And then I bypass the bass amp's internal preamp and use the ToneX 1 as the main preamp. And that allows me to have basically a bunch of different bass amp heads without switching cabinets and not super irritating the sound engineer. So, all right, next up, we got the Ampeg SVT. And it's SVT VR. Super warm. And they definitely did these amp models like in a way like that's a SVT VR, you know, so it's a tube amp, and they did it in a way where it's nice and clean, but you still get that Ampeg sound in there, you know. You know, and that's what most impressed me. Like they really get that. And when you go into the app, you can even fine tune that even more. If you want more sub frequencies, there's a depth knob. You use the depth knob to control the sub frequencies, and there's a presence knob which you can use to control the extremely high frequencies. Say you don't want extremely high frequencies in there, you can dial out some of that presence in there. But for the most part, they got them spot on. Nice and thick. So I love them. I love it. So dark glass, micro tubes, 500. And if you're not pushing the gain so much, like you can actually get some really. Hold on, let me make sure I'm on track here real quick. Let me see something. I feel like I might be. Let me see some. All right, let's rock. Dark glass. It's almost synth-like. It's so distorted in there. And of course, you can dial that back. Of course, rather. And that's how good the ToneX models are. You can just dial it back, you know. You can just dial it right on back. Compared to the SVT, just that big dirty sound. Ah. That joint's fire. This SVT VR is stupid. So these joints just get dirty, boy. They get dirty. Galley and Kruger 2001. Or is this might be the Mark. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and play through some of these joints just so we can move along here. All right. That way you get to hear all of them at least. Hit that like button for me if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Don't be shy. Don't be shy at all. Hit the hype button. Hit the like button. I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. And again, these sounds are available if you buy. If you don't want to, if you already have a ToneX one, you know, you have to buy this pack separately. But if you don't have a ToneX one and this is sounds that you want, you can just buy the ToneX signature bass pedal. And I believe it's silver and black one. But you buy that one and you get this pack and the other stuff as well. Or if you don't want to buy the pedal, you can just have it for your software, for your computer, or if you use your iPad or your iPhone to gig, you can just have these sounds on your iPhone and iPad as well. So it's amazing. And it's also a plug-in for your recording software, you know, just right in there. All right, we're going to run through some of these. So yeah, just an amazing pedal. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put the link in the chat for you guys. If you want to grab this preset pack, you definitely, well, it's a this is IK Multimedia's official signature bass collection. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. But I want you guys to definitely check it out when you have an opportunity, because it's when I say it's going to help you out so much, and in terms of your recording, your sound, they already are already EQ'd properly. and they're set up in a way where they were done in a way where it really does cut through in the mix. They're not too bassy. What's going on, folks? Appreciate all y'all chiming in. Yes, definitely a 6-string bass, but it's definitely plenty to explore here. You know, and the hard part is choosing which sounds you're going to use and which one, you know, because all of them sound good. Like, that's the Aguilar tube amp. But if you dial back the gain on there, you'll get that really nice, clean tone. What's going on from Indonesia? Appreciate you. Everybody put where they from so I, can get an idea where all you guys are. I definitely appreciate all you guys taking the time to spend time with me. It means the world to me. You could be doing anything, but you're hanging out with me. And that means a lot to me. So make sure you hit that like button, that hype button, and the subscribe button. Right? I don't know why I can't talk today. Hit that subscribe button. And, check out my Patreon as well for all different preset packs from the Zoom MS-60B Plus, MS-70 CDR Plus, and Zoom B6, C4 Synth by Source Audio, the Future Impact V4 pack, and the Enzo X. Have a pack for 11 different preamp packs of my personal preamps and amps and settings on my Patreon as well. But in the chat, I'm getting ready to put, thank you, I appreciate that. Shout out for the subscribe and the like. Okay, it didn't copy it for some strange reason. Let me go back here real quick. I just want y'all to be able to have this link. That way everybody good. All right. So, if you haven't already, I have a ton of videos on there's a ton of videos on the ToneX series pedals and all that stuff, where I've done comparisons and everything else, what I'm saying, between that and other units. I will say, it's a unit that you can literally design your whole board around. It can be stereo as well. You just take something like one of these splitters here, which is a TRS to 2TS regular instrument cables. These just regular instrument cables run into here, and you run that, and that now is stereo, for the modulations and all that stuff. If you got the ToneX one, you got it in this little small package that doesn't take up any space on your pedal board, but you got 20 different presets, and you can just do so much with such a small pedal. It's not even funny. Like, it's not even normal. Not even now. But I will say, you're going to want to get the bass edition. Make sure you get the bass edition. Let me see. What's the problem? I'm trying to just make sure to confirm that was the whole link there. I don't want you guys. Yep, that's the whole link. So you hit on that link, you go there, it'll be right there. But again, buy the bass edition of the ToneX pedal. It's going to come with all that, plus other software. And like I said, it's going to also come with that SVX 1 and 2, which I had to pay separately for. So, now they offering it to you for free. And that goes with Amplitude to give you all the legendary amps modeled extensively in there, where you got even the smallest details of the EQ modeled, and everything is modeled in Amplitude. That's one thing I do like about it. That's their more intricate modeling, like for recordings and stuff like that. But ToneX is like the live version of that. If in my brain, I'm not. This is not their words. This is my words. And like I said, for full disclosure, they did send me. They did ask me to do a review of this. I'm not getting paid, but they did ask me to do the review. So, it's not like I can't say what I want to say, and I am going to say what I want to say. I want all companies to know, if you send me something, I am going to say what I want to say. And if it's bad, it's going to get a bad review. If it's good, it's going to get a good review. And all you guys have been following me know I've been using a ToneX 1 for almost a year and a half now. I've been using it since they came out pretty much. And it's been amazing. Like, I can honestly say I can go to a gig with just a ToneX 1 and be perfectly fine, especially as a bassist. Say I don't want to take all the gear. I just want to make sure I got all my preamps, got all my sounds. I can just take a ToneX 1 and maybe a Canva line isolator, just because that makes the signal from the ToneX 1 really strong when it gets to the board and less noise. And still, I don't have to push into the preamp or the tone model as much, messing up my saturation the way I want it. So, use a line isolator with these types of pedals anyway, whether it be this one, the HX Stomp, Now, I will say the Zoom B6, actually, you don't have to do that. The DI is just really good on there. It's another pedal, but this particular pedal is the best amp models, especially for the price. And you still get the 4 pieces of software, really 6 if you include SVX 1 and 2. Those aren't included with Amplitude by itself. And then you also have the ability to just create a ton of presets within the software and not have to ruin or lose everything, you do on your pedal. So I think it's just you can use it as an audio interface too. The pedal's this size, but you can use it. This is not a ToneX 1. This is something else, but it's this size, but you can also use it as an audio interface. Come on now. So if you don't have an audio interface to record, you get your ToneX 1 bass edition. Now you don't even have to buy a separate audio interface. You got all that right there, plus the software, plus you got all you need for the live stuff and studio right there. It's kind of a no-brainer. For $179, you're not going to beat that. All the other best modelers are in the thousands. You know what I'm saying? Well, I say they got the Nano Cortex, but that thing like 500. Even the Zoom B6 is like 500. But these are, dare I say, the best amp models I've played, and I've played quite a few units. If somebody else want to prove me wrong, send it to me, and we'll see. I'll do a comparison, but from my ears and what I've heard and the research I've done, and not just me, what I've heard other players play the ToneX, it just sounds better than other ones, especially if you're running it direct. It sounds exactly like you want it to sound every single time. And I would recommend this too, because you have options with this pedal. Pick 3 sounds and put it in the little selector mode, which is like pressing press the Alt button and the foot switch at the same time. And that allows you to get into a mode where you have 3 different presets just from pressing the foot switch, and you can switch what you want the presets to be from there as well. So that's an additional tip to make it so you have 3 amp models available. You really don't want to use more than that for a show. Like, you shouldn't need that's a very recent thing that bass players and guitarists are doing, where they feel like every single song, I need a different amp. Like, why do you need a different amp for every song? Throughout the history of bass playing, most of the time they've had the amp they had on stage, and that was it. So, we live in very fortunate, amazing times. So, just understand that when you add all those extra options on stage, sometimes it can be a distraction from just making yourself sound good, play well. So I suggest pick 3 amps, put it in the little 3 selector mode, and limit yourself to that for a gig, you know what I'm saying? And change it when you need to, but don't try to have 20 different, you don't need 20 different presets for one song. It gets ridiculous with some cats. Like, plus your preamp is a big part of your sound. So those preamps you were listening to, those amplifiers, they're a huge part of your sound. Like as you can hear, they all sorry. So they all drastically, as you heard there, change your tone. And I just went through quite a few of them. And they all, even the ones that were just had a lot of saturation, they still all had their own personality. That Marshall cuts. Like when that joint's gonna cut. And it still got a nice big bottom because it's a tube amp. It just, that's nasty. What's going on, folks? Appreciate you dropping by. You know, I appreciate all my usual suspects dropping past and just, you know, showing some love to the channel as usual. Thank you guys for your continued support. Means the world to me. You know, and if any of you all want to hit the Cash App or Super Chat, definitely feel free to, you know, preferably the Cash App, you know. But, you know, definitely check out the ToneX signature bass collection. You know, I know I did this topic for the last 2 live streams, but that's, you know, it's a lot to cover. And with this particular, I'm going to do the stomp boxes next because they don't just include the 15 amps. They include these stomp boxes. Then they include combinations of the stomp boxes and the amps together and all that stuff. So it's not just the amps that you're getting. You're getting full rigs. Like you're getting the whole Marshall stack running, you know, model there. You know what I'm saying? And boy, it's a lot in there, man. It's definitely worth checking out. Like I said, for $179, it ain't a bad deal. You know what I'm saying? To get all this software, get all these tones. You know, if you bought one of these amps, if you just bought one of these amplifiers, like the Marshall or the Aguilar DB750, which is the at best Aguilar DB750 I've heard out of any unit. You know, and a lot of units have these same amps, but they don't sound as good. Like that SVT VR is crazy. You know what I'm saying? What else we got on here? We got the Harkey was nasty work too. You know what I'm saying? So I like this Mark Bass Big Bang on there. The orange AD amp is insane as well. So I highly recommend checking out this and get, like I said, if you're interested, just get the pedal. It's $179 versus if you buy the collection separately, it's $100. Now, if you don't need it for live and say you just a studio producer, you don't need the pedal. You know, you just kind of need the sound. So, I mean, you'll save $79. But if you're going to be a bass player, you know, you're going to be using this live, make sure you go ahead and spend the extra $79 to get the pedal, and then you get all the software too for when you record it, and you got an audio interface if you don't, and everything else. And you can use it as an audio interface for your phone. So if you say you want to do videos and stuff, but you don't want to talk, you know, you can literally just hook up your ToneX One and do your videos through your ToneX One and, you know, with your phone as well, or play live stream. You won't have access to a mic. You know, it's not a microphone, but, you know, it definitely adds a lot of stuff to it. Let me see what we got here. Yes, it actually has one. Yes, it could do all of that stuff, as well as it actually comes with, this pack comes with a big, a bass Big Muff deluxe, or like a electro harmonics, the big the distortion pedal. It actually comes with it. Matter of fact, I can show you where it shows up. I'm gonna show you the whole pack here real quick. I just got it on amps. Let's go to stomp boxes real quick. So these are the stomp boxes here. You got the full tone OCD. I'll do these next live stream. I got the Sansamp RBI on here. Mark Bass Distortion, say, or whatever, Distortion. I don't know how to say that. Dark Glass B7K, KHDX Elfson Fallout. Then you got Defender Sublime, Mark Bass Tube Marker, EHS Bass Blogger. Yep, Electro Harmonics Big Muff. You got a Pro Rat on here. Tech 21 YYZ. What else we got on here? Dark Glass X Ultra. Dark Glass Vintage Ultra. Yeah, so you got quite a few stomp that they included all in this pack. And this is, like I said, just get the pedal. don't just get the pedal. And not only that, let me show you something else. They included them with the full rigs as well. So like these are a combination of those pedals. So like this first one is like a 410, the 410 OCD into the Marshall. You know, it also allows you to, this is just crazy. All these are combinations basically and full rigs. So you got the amps and cabs. Let me see. All these are just your amps and cabs that are fully modeled rigs that are available in the software, in the pack as well. So you got all your ones for the Aguilar DB750 full model rigs, and I think that was, I'm trying to remember what cab. They run them through different cabs as well. So you got that, and I'm gonna go through all this stuff. It's just I can't go through 150 presets at once. That's a lot to ask. You know, and if you haven't already, hit that like button. Shout out to the folks that subscribed not too long ago. Let's see who we got here. We got a few new subscribers, which I definitely appreciate. You know, thank you guys. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. If you could hit that like button if you haven't already, it helps me out tremendously and allows me to reach a good audience, you know what I'm saying? So if you could hit that hype button as well and the like button. So you got all these different things that are available in this pack, 150 presets. And I mean, you got the whole rigs model in here, which is crazy. So yeah, definitely check it out. That's all I'm going to do on this for now. I definitely appreciate you guys hanging with me. Means the world to me that you guys would spend some time with me. You could have been doing anything, but you found yourself hanging out with me, and I appreciate that so much. Make sure you hit the like button before you go if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that hype button. Hype me up real quick. Help me out. You know what I'm saying? And if you're feeling like this really was useful to you, hit that super chat or cash app or whatever you want to hit on, you know. And follow me on all social media at the Bass Negus, Negus. Again, that's at the Bass Negus, Negus. And you can find all my music at allbasscreations.bandcamp.com. And if you want to any of my presets for various pedals, you can find all of that on the Patreon. You know, patreon.com/allbasscreations, and you'll have it for the MS-60B plus, MS-70 CDR plus, the Zoom B6, the C4 synth, the Future Impact V4, Enzo X, and 11 different preamp packs for the ToneX 1. And I'm going to release some more packs where it's a combination of things like the color box running into the Gensler Magellan, or the color box running into the Ampeg SGT, color box running into, you know what I'm saying, Aguilar AG preamp, Aguilar, you know, just running it into the color box into different preamps. So I'm gonna create a whole pack around that. So you guys are, you know, for the color box fans, and then you can have different varieties of the color box running into different stuff. So it sounds really good. It makes for a really nice, firm sound, and that really supports the group, but also cuts through. So, but all that'll be on the Patreon. You can sign up for $1 or $5. Thank you to all my Patreon subscribers as well. You know, I definitely appreciate you guys. You know, I know it seems like it's only $1, $5 a month, but it means the world to me that you would give me any money for anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think like that. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Even before things get big or things get rolling, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you guys so much for the support you've given me so far and helping me get to where I'm trying to go. So thank you. And this has been another episode of All Bass Creations, effects, tutorials, demos, and review. Make sure you go and you check out that ToneX signature bass collection pack, and I'll holler